Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from XTERRA Oak Mountain. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Zoot Sports, the original triathlon brand, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, his name is Jens Emil Sloth Nielsen. That's a lot of names. How you doing, Jens?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Bob.
A pleasure. I love the Danish athletes. Magnus Ditlev, Daniel Bakkegaard, Michelle Vesterby from back in the day, Christian Hogenhag. I mean, you guys are in a really cool era of great athletes coming out of Denmark.
Sure we are. It's great to be a small part of that movement coming up. I know some of the guys and girls, and especially Christian Hogenhag I do a lot of training with. So yeah, it's quite strange to see them like they're delivering on a high level on that scene. So on the long distance scene and the middle distance. So yeah, it's just nice to have them to inspire.
Well, you're delivering as well. You were just third at the Asia Pacific Championships in Taiwan. You're only what, 24?
I'm 25.
25.
Yeah. Getting
old guy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You're an old guy now. It doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, so you're coming off a year where you had a lot of good performances, but your background is more mountain bike than XTERRA?
Sure, I was raised into a lot of sports, and then when I turned 15, I focused a bit more on the mountain bike and did some national team appearances at the World Champs and European. But I kind of dropped off, and then the high school hit, and then I started. I found a good training group for triathlon, and which really inspired me. I'm from a kind of a small town where I didn't have a lot of other elite athletes, but then when I got to university, I started doing triathlon, and of course I wanted to do off-road triathlon.
And had you done any on-road triathlon?
I've done some duathlons and some road duathlons and just some training with the group, but never really invested.
The mountain bike is your love.
Yeah, it is.
The trails.
I'm not really that thrilled to go on a TT bike.
Yeah,
it's not. I'm not jealous of them when I see them training on the turbo and all this. I like to go between the woods.
Exactly. Now, does this course here at Oak Mountain suit you?
Sure. It's really entertaining. There's a lot of twists and turns, and now when the mud is coming, I've just been on it this morning, and it makes it quite different. There's still some grip, but you can really go. You can go fast, but you can really also go fast off the trails.
So, who should we be looking at in terms of the guys in this race?
I don't know. There's
a lot, huh?
Yeah, there is, and there's some jokers as well. I think Arthur Sayer, of course. I think he was really eager to have a good race this year. He's not started off that well, and had some bad luck. So I think if he can put that eager into good racing, then he'll be fast. But also Sam won here. You never, you cannot misjudge a winning man.
Right.
And
well, you got the mid-hours.
The mid-hours is for sure. It's good triathletes. Maybe they can make up a group to race here. But yeah, there's some guys, and and also Sebastian Carbon. He's an amazing mountain biker, and he will come fast from behind.
Yes.
So Eric Lagerström, it's always fun to race those. Those on-road triathletes. I don't know if I can call him that.
Yes.
Still, but he'll probably also
mix
be up
it
there.
Yeah, he'll be up out of the water, and I remember he was here and he won. I think he won in Portland last year.
Yeah.
And then his first ever XTERRA was here, and he was out of the water up front, but I think he had mechanical during the bike. But he's
a great athlete.
He's a great athlete.
Yeah,
which is really fun. So you got a chance to at the Worlds, XTERRA Worlds. You're fourth at the Worlds, right?
Yeah.
And now talk a little bit about the difference. You got the short track and then long course. So you race the long course on Saturday and then short track on Sunday. Do you focus on one rather than the other?
No, I tend to really like the short track though. But of course this year when they put the investments into the World Cup, and it's like a circuit, and you can see the points also make it clear which
points and good money.
Yeah, sure. That's where we should focus on. But I really like the short track. I like the show, and I just do it for pleasure as well.
So, and it's good TV.
Yeah, I hope it is. I hope it is. They made some good broadcasts in the European courses, and I'll look forward to see how they do it here. And
transitioning from just mountain biking, and I'm guessing, you know, I've heard this story over and over again, that when you're part of trying to go to the Olympics, there's just a lot of times the governing bodies and just the whole program is not, sometimes you lose your individuality when you've got those type of things. And so this gives you total freedom. You can do whatever you want. Was it hard to, the swimming and the running, did you have enough of a background to catch on to that fairly quickly?
Yeah, you're right on with the why I switched up because of the governing bodies and all this.
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it is. And
anybody in a suit is a pain in the butt.
And I love the individuality in XTERRA, but still we're connecting quite well. But yeah, as doing a lot of sports as I was a kid, I knew how to run, and I always knew I was a good runner when we did the sports test in school and all this. So, so that came to me quite quick. It's, I think, still an off-bike run is kind of a different discipline than just going out and run fast. So, but then the swimming that takes some years. I'm in my third year where I actually focus on XTERRA, like full on, maybe fourth, and it's, you just need to be patient with the swim, I think, and put a lot of hours into it, but don't make it break your neck either. It's really a balance, and I'm hoping to find the balance. And I'm patient. Of course, I want to do it top level right now, but I also think that my top level will be in a few years when my swimming gets better.
Well, and the interesting part for XTERRA rather than the road try, if you're not there at the end of the swim in the road try, it's hard to make up ground. Yeah, sure. Where if you're a good mountain biker, you can come back from a swim that's not quite at that top level. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. And there is some tactical. It's the draft is allowed in XTERRA, and that makes it a bit tactical sometimes. But yeah, you can even with a bad swim, you haven't lost the race like you would in some road triathlon. Yeah. But still, you got
to be up there.
Yeah, you got to be up there. You can't lose, and because I think the XTERRA level is just extrememely high as well. Yes. You can't. Everyone is good mountain bikers. It's not like some of the good swimmers are just falling through the field when we start on the bike. They're good mountain bikers, so you really have to be superior on the mountain bike to make up some ground.
The World Cup is a new addition. There's a whole concept of the World Cup here. And your goal is to, after this race, potentially lead the World Cup?
I hope so. Actually, on the bike, I just figured out that, I should not be that certain that I'm the leader, even though the two guys in front of me chose a different schedule for these races. Because I think Kieran McPherson, he can put in a really good race as well, and Sebastian Carbon. I have to be focused.
You have to have a great race.
Yeah, I do. But it's there for me if I want to grab it. If I do a clever race, but I also want to race hard and try to take the win here.
And so this season, it'll be pretty much all World Cup. Follow the World Cup series.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the goal.
Yeah, there are some venues in Europe I love to go, which is not on the World Cup circuit. Yeah. But maybe I'll just go for
some training.
Yeah, for some training and some, like, when these XTERRA venues is sometimes in the most amazing places. So go there for a bit of vacation and then putting in a race as well. That's what I like.
You were fourth at Worlds last year. Is that course obviously suits you? Are Worlds in the same course this year? Or are they moving?
Yeah, it's the same course.
Same course.
Yeah. That suits me. It was the rain came down really hard on the race day, and it got tough and it was cold. So you really had to have some grit to do the race, and I think I got up there quite good. I was never really close to the podium, but still it was one of my best performances ever, especially on the bike. I made up a lot of ground, we were on a tight pack going into the run, and I could outrun the guys. So that was an amazing race, and I want to increase that position next year.
If it rains a few more times before race day, you're fine with that?
Yeah, sure. I like it, especially when it's hot I was sweating out there. So the water, there was still a bit of humidity in between the leaves and trees. But yeah, I like it when it's a bit slippery and and you have to be focused on the trails and focus. Like those routes are sketchy.
They're sketchy. Yeah. Because they get slippery.
Yeah, but actually they build the trails amazingly here, so they're not soaking. They're really, I don't know how you say it, but the water gets off quite quick. But it will trick your mind, because those routes they're not like
they're still there.
Yeah, that's natural.
So it's obviously not going to get cold here, but cold is good for you too. You don't care.
I think hard conditions is just good for me.
Hard conditions, whatever. You're one of those guys.
Yeah.
If it's hot, if it's cold, if it's slippery, the tougher the conditions, the better. You're from Denmark. Come on.
Yeah, that's it.
You've done it all.
Yeah, that's it. That's what the French and the Spanish and the Italian, they're always saying that as well. That I like it when it's cold and wet.
So if parents want their kid to be fast, usually they wouldn't put the name Sloth in their name. It's like sloth is the slowest moving creature on earth.
Yeah, I hear that quite a few times when I'm traveling around the world. But yeah, it's
family name.
It's my family name, and my mom is really proud of it. It's in Danish. It's translated to a castle.
A castle.
Yeah. So that's quite
yes.
Like that's the royalties. But yeah, sloth is. I like it. I like to. Maybe I'm a bit of a sloth sometimes.
No, obviously not. Not in anything you do. Also, I noticed you've got a fair number of tattoos.
Yeah.
But one in particular, you dedicated that to a friend who passed away from cancer.
Yeah, I got a sunflower on my left shoulder, which I dedicated to my friend who taught me to do mountain biking and who I did all my racing with.
Yes.
Guy named Torben Kvistgaard. 3 years ago he passed. So
and did he see the tattoo before he died?
He did. He just got to see it on the hospital actually. So that meant a lot to me, and I'm still in touch with his wife
family
and sons. So
40 years old, that's so young.
Yeah, it is. That's too young. But he still lives in us, and I often remember him when I'm going out mountain biking.
Yeah, it's something you carry. Well, that tattoo, you carry that with you.
Yeah, I do. That's and it's a beautiful tattoo, and it's a beautiful memory of him.
What would it mean to finish up this year winning the World Cup?
It would mean a lot. I really like these, like I like soccer as well, where they have like a cup during the year, and it's like you collect points, and that's just one day race that makes it up. So I think it would be cool to win it, and my mind is on it, and I've done some tactical scheduling with my coach and myself. I think I'm really well prepared to try to collect the points to be on top.
Well, how have you changed as an athlete over the last few years?
I don't know. I think I struggled a bit with some an anxiety to race. Sometimes it could really stress me up.
Before a race.
Yeah, and also during races. Now I'm a bit more relaxed, and just with all this traveling, that's also, you got to be really experienced in it. And either you can get in some sketchy situations with the bike mechanicals and rental cars and shitty hotels and all this.
Exactly.
And you just need to keep cool instead of tearing your mind down when this happens, and then just have a good overlook. And then I think that especially in XTERRA, when we race this much, and now we race overseas to Taiwan, that's so much different than the States coming here. So, and both places are way different than Europe.
Yes.
So yeah, I think to keep my mind more cool going into the race, that's and then just being more experienced.
And what's interesting about our sports, our athletes tend to travel together. You know, they fly into different venues together, they rent a car together, they stay in their hotel rooms together, and then they try to kick each other's ass on race day, and then get back in a rental car, go back to the airport, and do it again.
Yeah, sure.
Can you do that with the guys in your peloton in the sport?
Definitely, I think that's a big. We really.
You push each other.
Yeah, and we respect each other going into the races. We say hi to each other. We don't have to be best friends, but I think we have a big respect between. And some of them we talk more with than others, and some of them don't really speak the same language and all this. But still, we really respect each other, and I think we're a big fan of each other, one another. Like it's quite a cool atmosphere.
It really is, yeah, because people want your success has nothing to do with anybody else's. You're pushing yourself. You're racing yourself and racing the course.
Yeah, exactly.
And those guys are there, and they're doing exactly the same thing. So you can celebrate each other, you can honor each other, respect each other, and
I think we root for each other, and we just want the XTERRA sports to grow, and we want, I think we're really a good pack of athletes that are coming in, and I think we make some opportunity for XTERRA to grow because of our welcoming.
Well, you got all these young guys and gals coming into the sport, bringing all this new energy, and now we got the World Cup, and you got short track. There's a lot of buzz being created.
I think so as well, and that's how it should be. I think XTERRA really have the potential to grow up as an amazing sport and go back to the before I started racing XTERRA some years ago. I think there was a lot of hype about it, and I don't know how that dwelled down, but I think the hype is getting up again, and that's how it should be, and we're ready to rock.
I love it. Have a great race on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
All right. Again, Jens Emil Sloth Nielsen has been our guest. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will catch you in just a little bit with our next interview. Thanks for tuning in.